The Imperial scout ship Dominion emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system. Captain Zexstar stretched his forearms and clicked his mandibles with satisfaction. Another primitive world to add to the Empire's ever-growing collection. "Status report," he commanded, his translator converting his clicks into standard Imperial speech. "All systems nominal, Captain," his sensor officer reported. "Planetary detection shows standard development. Multiple satellites in orbit, primitive space stations, and—" The officer paused, rechecking the readings. "Speak up, officer." "Sir, something's wrong with our cloaking systems. They're active, but—" The officer's antennae twitched nervously. 3 sharp beeps cut through the bridge's quiet hum. The main screen activated without any input from the crew. A human face appeared, wearing what looked like a military uniform. "Imperial Scout Ship Dominion. This is Earth Defense Command. Your cloaking technology has been detected and cataloged. Please be advised that you have entered restricted space. Maintain your current position for inspection." Captain Zexstar's outer shell paled. This was impossible. Their cloaking technology was the most advanced in known space. Even the core worlds couldn't detect their scout ships. "How are they broadcasting directly to our systems?" the communications officer whispered. "Our firewalls are being bypassed like they don't exist." Before Zexstar could respond, multiple ships materialized around the Dominion. They hadn't jumped in. They had simply appeared, as if they'd always been there. The ships were sleek, their hulls covered in patterns that seemed to shift and change when viewed directly. "Sir," the sensor officer called out, panic in his voice. "These ships, they're not registering as matter. They're showing up as probability waves. That's impossible." Zexstar had served the Empire for 30 cycles, but nothing in his training had prepared him for this. These humans weren't following any known laws of physics. A second transmission came through. "Captain Zexstar, we've completed our scan of your vessel. Your technology is quaint. We've been monitoring Imperial communications for decades. We know about the annexations, the forced submissions, the resource stripping of primitive worlds." The human's face showed what Zexstar recognized as a smile, but there was no warmth in it. "We chose isolation not out of fear, but because we needed time. Time to develop our quantum technology without interference. Your empire chased faster than light travel. We instead learned to manipulate reality itself." Through the view screen, Zexstar watched as one of the Earth ships seemed to flicker. Suddenly, a perfect copy of the Dominion appeared beside it. "That's a quantum duplicate of your ship, Captain. We copied every atom, every data file, every piece of Imperial technology you brought to our doorstep. Consider this a warning. Return to your empire. Tell them Earth is not interested in their protection, their trade, or their dominion." The human's expression hardened, and if they choose not to listen, remind them of this. "We've already mapped every Imperial world through quantum observation. We can appear anywhere, at any time. Earth doesn't want war, Captain Zexstar, but we are ready for one." The transmission cut off. The Earth ships didn't leave. They simply ceased to exist, as if they'd never been there at all. Captain Zexstar looked at his shaking crew and made a decision that would change galactic history. "Plot a course back to Imperial space," he ordered. "The Empire needs to know. We've finally found someone more advanced than us." The Imperial diplomatic ship Grand Mediator hovered above Earth's atmosphere, its golden hull reflecting sunlight. Inside, High Ambassador Krell adjusted his ceremonial robes. After Captain Zexstar's disturbing report, the Empire had decided to try diplomacy before force. The shuttle ride down to Earth's United Defense Council headquarters was tense. Krell and his team watched the gleaming cities below, noting how different they looked from other Level 3 civilizations. No scattered development, no pollution clouds. Everything appeared planned and efficient. "Remember," Krell told his team, "we're dealing with primitives who got lucky with quantum physics. Show strength, but be polite." The council chamber wasn't what they expected. Instead of an impressive hall meant to intimidate visitors, it was a simple room with a round table. 5 humans waited, wearing plain uniforms without decoration. "Welcome to Earth," said Counselor Chen, standing to greet them. "Please, sit." Krell launched into his carefully prepared speech. "The Galactic Empire extends its protection to Earth. We offer technology, trade routes, and defense against pirates. In return, we ask for only minimal resource contributions and acceptance of Imperial oversight." The humans didn't react. Then Counselor Chen touched a small device on the table. Suddenly, holographic screens appeared around the room, showing hundreds of Imperial diplomatic meetings across the galaxy. "Ambassador Krell," Chen said calmly, "this is you, 15 cycles ago, on Proxima Beta." The screen showed Krell making the same offer. 6 months later, Proxima Beta was stripped of resources, its people relocated to labor worlds. Krell's scales paled. "How did you get these recordings?" "Quantum entanglement observation," another counselor explained. "We've watched every Imperial conquest for the past 50 years. We know your patterns. The protection offer, then demands, then threats, finally invasion." Chen leaned forward. "But Earth is different. Those ships you saw weren't our best technology. They were diplomatic warnings. Would you like to see our actual defense systems?" Without warning, every piece of Imperial technology in the room shut down. Translators, hidden weapons, emergency beacons, all dead. "That's a localized quantum probability field," Chen explained. "Within it, your technology has a 100% chance of failure. We can extend this field across the entire solar system." "The Empire will not be threatened," Krell started, but Chen cut him off. "This isn't a threat, Ambassador. It's a statement of fact. Earth doesn't want war. We don't want Imperial resources. We simply want to be left alone." Chen smiled. "Think of us as a quantum barrier around this sector of space. Cross it again, and your ships won't just lose power. They'll cease to exist as matter and become pure probability." Krell stood, trying to maintain his dignity. "The Emperor will hear of this." "Yes," Chen agreed. "He will. And when he does, remind him. Earth developed this technology in secret while your empire watched us through primitive telescopes. Imagine what else we've developed that you haven't seen yet." The humans stood, signaling the end of the meeting. As Krell and his team left, they couldn't shake the feeling that they'd just witnessed the beginning of the Empire's end. Admiral Vexthor stood on the bridge of the Imperial dreadnought Eternal Glory, watching as his 7th Fleet assembled near the Sol system's edge. 300 warships, the pride of the Empire, waited for his command. The Emperor's orders were clear. "Show these humans the price of defiance." "Status report," he commanded. "All ships in formation. Admiral, weapon systems charged. Quantum shields at maximum." Vexthor smiled. The humans' quantum tricks had scared a scout ship and embarrassed their diplomats. But this was the Imperial 7th Fleet. No force in the galaxy could stand against it. "Begin the approach," he ordered. "Standard conquest formation." The fleet surged forward, their faster-than-light drives humming with power. Then, without warning, every ship dropped back to normal space. "Report," Vexthor shouted as red alerts flashed across his bridge. "FTL drives are offline. Sir, engineering reports all quantum systems are frozen. They're not responding to any known laws of physics." A familiar human face appeared on their screens. Counselor Chen looked almost apologetic. "Admiral Vexthor, we warned your diplomats. The Sol system is protected by quantum probability fields. Your ships didn't just lose power. They've been stripped of the very possibility of faster-than-light travel." Vexthor slammed his fist on his command chair. "You dare? Check your star charts, Admiral," Chen suggested. "Calculate how long it would take your fleet to reach the nearest Imperial world at sublight speed. By our math, it's about 70 years. The bridge crew's calculations confirmed it. Without FTL drives, they were stranded decades from home. Of course, Chen continued, we could restore your ship's quantum probability states. But first, let's give you a demonstration of why that would be in everyone's best interest. Outside the viewport, space itself seemed to ripple. A small Earth ship appeared, no bigger than a courier vessel. As the Imperial fleet watched, it fired a single beam of light. The beam hit nothing. Instead, it split into hundreds of quantum paths, each one passing harmlessly through an Imperial ship. But where the beam passed, Imperial technology simply stopped. Not damaged, not destroyed. It merely ceased to function, as if it had never been designed to work in the first place. That was a quantum probability negation beam, Chen explained. It didn't destroy your weapons. It rewrote their history so they were never capable of firing in the first place. Imagine that effect applied to your life support systems. Vex Thor, for the first time in his military career, felt fear. These humans hadn't built better weapons. They'd changed the rules of reality itself. What do you want? He asked quietly. The same thing we've always wanted, Admiral. Leave. Tell the Empire that the Sol system is now a quantum dead zone for their ships. Any vessel entering our space will find itself subject to new laws of physics, our laws. The human's image vanished, and moments later, the fleet's FTL drives hummed back to life. Admiral Vex Thor gave the only order he could. Set course for Imperial space. Maximum speed. Behind them, Earth's quantum barrier rippled silently, ready to rewrite reality itself to protect humanity's freedom. Grand Scientist Mirax stared at the test results in her lab aboard the Imperial science vessel Truth Seeker. After 3 months of studying the data from Earth's quantum barrier, she still couldn't believe what she was seeing. Run the simulation again, she ordered her team. The holographic display showed Earth's defense system in action. But unlike Imperial technology, it didn't follow any known scientific principles. It's like they're speaking a different language, her assistant Catul noted, adjusting his sensors. We build machines to work with physics. They build machines to change physics itself. A junior researcher burst into the lab. Grand Scientist, we've intercepted transmissions from Earth's quantum network. The data streamed across their screens. Mirax's eyes widened. This is impossible. They're not using quantum entanglement for communication. They're using it for reality storage. The screens showed Earth's true breakthrough. They hadn't just mastered quantum physics. They'd learned to treat reality itself like a computer program. Their technology didn't fight against universal laws. It rewrote them. Look at these equations, Mirax pointed. When we built FTL drives, we found ways to move fast through space. Earth found ways to make space itself agree to move them. When we built weapons, we made them more powerful. Earth made the laws of physics refuse to let enemy weapons work at all. Kittel studied the data. But why didn't we discover this first? The Empire has the greatest scientists in the galaxy. Because we were too busy conquering, Mirax replied bitterly. We spent centuries spreading across the stars, forcing others to join us. Earth spent that time thinking, questioning, discovering. They didn't just advance technology. They found a completely new way to understand reality. New data flashed across their screens. Earth's quantum network was active again. Through their sensors, they watched as human scientists tested new theories, each one more impossible than the last. They're not afraid of us, Mirax realized. They don't build weapons because they don't need them. Why fight an enemy when you can simply rewrite the rules so conflict becomes impossible? The implications hit her like a physical blow. The Empire's strength had always been its advanced technology. But Earth had made that technology obsolete not by building better machines, but by understanding deeper truths about reality itself. Send a message to the Imperial Science Council, she ordered. Tell them. She paused, knowing her next words were borderline treasonous. Tell them we're not the most advanced civilization anymore. And if we don't change our ways of thinking, we never will be again. The Imperial Palace buzzed with panic as reports came in from 50 different core worlds. Human ships had appeared simultaneously across Imperial space, bypassing every defense system, as if they didn't exist. Emperor Xarkax watched the feeds from his throne room, his crystalline exoskeleton dim with worry. The humans weren't attacking. They were simply existing, demonstrating their power. Another report, Emperor, his aide announced. Earth vessels appeared inside the Imperial Bank's quantum vault on Centauri Prime. They left a message. Your security is an illusion. On each world, the human ships performed impossible feats. On Rigel 3, they transformed an Imperial warship into pure light and back again without harming the crew. On Vega Prime, they created a temporary duplicate of the entire planet, letting it exist for exactly 1 minute before dissolving it. "Get me General Kralvor," the Emperor commanded. The general's hologram appeared, looking shaken. "My Emperor, we can't stop them. They're not using ships in any way we understand. These vessels, their probability made solid. They exist everywhere and nowhere until they choose to be seen. Can we block their quantum technology? We don't even understand how it works." Grand Scientist Mirax reports that Earth's science isn't just advanced, it's fundamentally different. They don't follow the laws of physics, they negotiate with them. A new message appeared on all Imperial screens. The humans had hacked their unhackable quantum network with ease. "Greetings, Emperor Xarkax." Counselor Chen's familiar face appeared. "Consider this a peaceful demonstration. Your empire spans 3,000 worlds. Today, we proved we can reach any of them, at any time. Not through violence, but through understanding." The Emperor watched as Earth ships continued their display. On each world, they performed one final act. They released quantum data packets into the local networks. Information about Earth's basic quantum theories began spreading across Imperial space. "We're not here to conquer," Chen continued. "We're here to show you a better way. Your empire is built on forcing others to submit. We offer knowledge freely. The choice of what to do with it belongs to your people." The Emperor realized the humans' true strategy. They hadn't come to destroy the empire. They'd come to make its citizens question everything they thought they knew about reality itself. And in every corner of Imperial space, scientists, engineers, and common citizens were already beginning to learn, to question, to wonder if there was a better way than conquest. The empire was fracturing. In the Grand Council chamber on the capital world of Imperius Prime, representatives from 100 worlds argued as Emperor Xarkax watched in silence. "The humans have shared their quantum theories freely," shouted the delegate from Vega Prime. "Already, our scientists have confirmed their principles. We can't ignore this knowledge." "It's a trick," argued General Kralvor. "They want us weak, divided. The Empire has stood for 10,000 years through strength and unity." Another delegate stood. "Through fear and force, you mean? Earth has shown us there's another way. They could have destroyed us. Instead, they offered knowledge." Reports kept flooding in. On 30 Imperial worlds, scientists had already successfully replicated basic quantum probability experiments using Earth's shared data. The Empire's iron grip on advanced technology was slipping. "We must attack now." General Kralvor slammed his fist down. "Before more worlds fall under Earth's influence." The Emperor finally spoke. "And how do you propose we attack, General? Our ships can't reach their system. Our weapons don't work in their space. Even our spies can't infiltrate their quantum networks." A new hologram appeared. Grand Scientist Mirax, speaking from her lab. "My Emperor, I've studied their quantum theories. They're not just scientifically valid. They're beautiful. They show us that the universe isn't something to be conquered. It's something to be understood, to be worked with." "Traitor," shouted the general. "No," Mirax replied calmly. "I'm a scientist, and Earth has shown us that all our power, all our military might, is nothing compared to true understanding of reality's underlying nature. The Emperor watched as more delegates stood, declaring their worlds would begin implementing Earth's quantum theories independently of imperial control. They weren't rebelling. They were simply choosing a different path. The Empire faces a choice, the Emperor announced. We can cling to our old ways and watch our worlds drift away one by one. Or we can admit that Earth has shown us a better way. Not through conquest, but through knowledge. General Kralvor drew his ceremonial blade. Then you're as weak as the humans. Before he could move, the general froze in place. His blade transformed into light, then scattered into quantum probability waves. No, said Counselor Chen's voice as his image appeared. We're not weak. We're just wise enough to know that understanding is stronger than force. The Empire's choice was clear: evolve or dissolve. 5 years after Earth's quantum demonstration, the galaxy had changed beyond recognition. The Imperial Palace on Imperius Prime now housed the Galactic Council of Free Worlds, its halls filled with representatives from both former Imperial worlds and newly contacted civilizations. Emperor Xarkax, now serving as first speaker, watched as humans and aliens worked together, sharing knowledge instead of weapons. The quantum revolution had spread faster than anyone expected. First speaker, a young Rigelian scientist, approached him. The latest quantum probability experiments were successful. 3 more worlds have joined the knowledge network. The former emperor nodded. Where Imperial warships once patrolled, quantum research vessels now explored. The Empire's fall hadn't brought chaos. It had brought enlightenment. In Earth's orbit, the new Galactic Academy of Quantum Sciences hosted students from 1,000 worlds. Humans taught alongside former Imperial scientists, each bringing their own perspective to the understanding of reality's deepest mysteries. It's remarkable, said Counselor Chen, now serving as Earth's representative to the free worlds. In trying to keep humanity isolated, we forced ourselves to think differently, now that different thinking has united the galaxy. Former Grand Scientist Mirax, leading the Academy's research division, demonstrated the latest breakthrough. A small device activated, and suddenly the room contained quantum duplicates of everyone present. The old Empire thought power came from controlling reality, she explained. Earth showed us that true power comes from understanding it. Each civilization now adds its own wisdom to our shared knowledge. The quantum network that once defended Earth now connected worlds across the galaxy, not for control or surveillance, but for sharing ideas, art, and discoveries. Former Imperial worlds had transformed their war machines into tools of exploration and learning. A group of children, human, Imperial, and a dozen other species, played in the Academy's quantum gardens, their laughter echoing through probability fields that once would have been weapons. The Empire's greatest fear was losing control. First Speaker Xarkax reflected. We never imagined that letting go would make us stronger. Earth had done what the Empire never could, not through conquest or force, but by showing the galaxy a glimpse of reality's true nature. The Empire was gone, but in its place stood something far greater, a civilization built on understanding, growing stronger with each new discovery. And somewhere, in quantum probability space, infinite versions of this story played out across countless realities, each one proving that knowledge, freely shared, was the greatest power of all.